Some beings in DC Comics aren't mysterious because writers planned it that way. Rather, they're mysterious because DC has never figured out how to explain them. These aren't random side characters. These are reality-shaping forces, multiverse-building architects, and cosmic threats so big that every reboot either rewrites their origin or avoids them entirely. Some were introduced with grand purpose, others became too big for continuity to handle, and a few exist in contradictions DC created for itself. So, which cosmic entities remain beyond DC's own understanding? Here are the 10 cosmic beings DC still can't explain. At number 10, we have Alpheus, the World Forger. First appearing in Justice League issue 19, 2019. Alpheus was introduced as the World Forger, a cosmic architect who shapes entire potential universes before they join the multiverse. Readers immediately connected with this idea because it finally exposed the machinery behind DC's creation process. For a moment, Alpheus felt like the missing piece in DC's cosmic system as a being who literally built reality, but DC never explained him. His origin is told in fragments. His purpose shifts between storylines, and his relationships with the Monitor and Anti-Monitor are left vague. Even his powers fluctuate wildly, from universe-shaping force to easily defeated cosmic prisoner. After Justice League, DC quietly moved on, leaving gaping contradictions about how many universes he forged, why he rebelled, and how he fits into the hierarchy of the sixth dimension. Alpheus didn't fade naturally. He became one of DC's least explained cosmic beings because the stories around him grew faster, leaving a universe builder with no clear place in the universe. At number 9 is the Empty Hand. The Empty Hand first appeared in the Multiversity issue 1, 2014, introduced as a silent, towering force watching entire universes collapse. Readers immediately noticed him because he didn't behave like a normal villain. He wasn't seeking conquest or destruction. He simply appeared at the end of worlds, treating reality like a disposable creation. That calm, emotionless presence made him feel more unsettled than many louder cosmic threats. But DC never explained him. His origin is missing, his motives are unknown, and even his nature remains undefined. One story suggests he stands outside creation. Another hint is that he collects failing universes as if they were stories ending on a shelf. After Multiversity, he vanished completely, leaving no details about his power level, role, or connection to DC's larger cosmology. Even official references offer only vague descriptions. He became one of DC's least explained cosmic beings because his introduction raised mysteries DC never answered, a final enemy with no beginning, no motive, and no mythology whatsoever. At number 8 is the Hands of the Source. The Hands of the Source first appeared in Dark Knights. Death Metal, issue 6, 2021, introduced as enormous celestial beings standing at the edges of creation. Readers immediately noticed them because they didn't act like typical cosmic entities. They didn't speak, threaten, or fight. They simply emerged during the Omniverse's rebirth, shaping existence with silent gestures that carried the weight of creation itself. Their scale, mystery, and presence made them feel older and higher than any cosmic force DC had shown before, as if they existed long before the multiverse even had structure. But DC, their origin is missing, their purpose unclear, and even their number remains unknown. One story hints they rebuild damaged universes, another suggests they judge which realities deserve to continue, but none answer who created them or why they appear only at cosmic turning points. After Death Metal, they disappeared completely, leaving no details about their hierarchy or limitations. Even official references remain vague. At number 7 is the Great Darkness. First appearing in Swamp Thing Volume 2, issue 49, readers immediately connected with this idea because it wasn't a villain or a god, but the silent void behind existence itself. It felt older than the multiverse, untouched by any cosmic hierarchy, and powerful enough to influence events without ever revealing a motive. For a moment, the Great Darkness seemed like the missing cosmic element that shaped DC's universe long before light, life, or time existed. A force too ancient for heroes or gods to fully comprehend. But its origin is vague. Its intentions shift between stories, and its form changes depending on the writer. One era presents it as pure, mindless darkness, while another hints that it has awareness and purpose. Later events connect it loosely to major threats without clarifying its role or influence. After each major appearance, it vanishes again, leaving contradictions instead of answers. At number 6 is The Source. Introduced in 1971 in New Gods Issue 1 as the cosmic power behind all creation. From the moment it appeared, readers were fascinated. It wasn't a god, a villain, or a ruler. It was the force the New Gods prayed to, the spark that shaped galaxies, and the unseen presence said to exist behind every miracle in the DC universe. For a moment, it felt like DC had finally revealed the origin point of everything. A single idea that connected all worlds, all gods, and all stories. But the more DC used the Source, the less defined it became. One era described it as a sentient being, another called it pure cosmic energy. Some writers tied it directly to the Source wall, while others separated the two entirely. Even its role in creation shifted from storyline to storyline, leaving major contradictions about what it truly is. After more than 50 years, the Source remains powerful but unclear, a concept meant to explain everything, but still unable to explain itself. At number 5 are the Omega Titans, introduced in 2018 in Justice League. No Justice. They arrived as 4 towering cosmic forces: entropy, mystery, wisdom, and wonder, each representing a different energy that shapes civilizations. Their appearance stunned readers because it felt like DC had finally revealed ancient beings who stood above gods, guardians, and even the multiverse itself. The Omega Titans seeded planets, watched their development, and judged entire worlds based on which energy grew strongest. For a brief moment, they looked like the hidden architects of life across the universe. But the mystery that made them exciting also became their flaw. DC never clearly defined what they were. One part of the story claimed they shaped creation, while another suggested they were born from cosmic imbalance. Their history, lifespan, and true purpose were never explained. After the No Justice event ended, their story simply stopped. No follow-up, no deeper lore, and no return to clarify their role. The Omega Titans entered DC as world shapers, but left without a mythology to stand on. At number 4 is Perpetua, who made her debut in Justice League issue 8 in 2018. She arrived not as a villain or a cosmic visitor, but as the ancient mother of the Monitor, Anti-Monitor, and World Forger, the 3 forces that shaped DC's multiverse for decades. What caught readers' attention wasn't a retcon or a twist, it was the scale of her existence. Suddenly, the origins of crisis-level beings traced back to one creator, a woman whose power stretched across entire realities. For a moment, Perpetua felt like the ultimate answer to DC's biggest mysteries, the one being who stood at the very beginning of creation. But the more she appeared, the less stable her story became. Her history shifted between issues, her motivations were rewritten, and even the source of her power changed depending on the arc. Some stories described her as a rogue creator cast out by a higher order, while others suggested she came from a realm far older than the multiverse itself. After her final defeat, she vanished without any true explanation. At number 3 is the Monitor, first appearing in Crisis on Infinite Earths issue 1 in 1985. He arrived as a silent figure watching every universe from a satellite outside space and time. Readers were drawn to him immediately. He wasn't a hero or a villain. He was the one being who seemed to understand how all of DC's realities fit together. His warnings, his calm direction, and his knowledge of events no one else could see made him feel like the multiverse's first true guardian. For a moment, the Monitor looked like the character who finally explained how DC's infinite worlds were held together. But as DC expanded its mythology, the Monitor's story changed again and again. One era made him a single cosmic overseer. Another turned him into part of a vast race of monitors. Later stories reimagined him as the son of Perpetua, giving him a new purpose and rewriting his past entirely. His goals, origins, and power levels shift with every reboot. Each new version replaces the last, leaving readers confused. At number 2 is Nekron, first appearing in Tales of the Green Lantern Corps, issue 2 in 1981. He entered DC as the embodiment of death itself, ruling a silent realm beyond the reach of life. Readers were struck by how different he felt from ordinary villains. Nekron didn't rage, boast, or scheme for glory. He stood calmly at the edge of existence, commanding the dead with a quiet certainty that made him terrifying. When Blackest Night unfolded, his shadow stretched across the universe, and for a moment, Nekron looked like the final truth behind every soul's end. But DC never defined him with consistency. His origin shifts depending on the era. Some stories call him the personification of death, a force older than creation. Others describe him as a cosmic being with no spiritual significance at all. His connection to the afterlife changes repeatedly, and his abilities rise and fall depending on the event he appears in. Even after massive storylines, readers are left without a clear explanation of who he truly is or why he exists. At number 1 is the Anti-Monitor, first appearing in New Teen Titans issue 21, 1982. He arrived as a catastrophe given form, a being who consumed entire universes and reduced realities to ash. Readers connected with him instantly because he wasn't just another cosmic enemy. He was the end of worlds. Every step he took erased galaxies, and every victory he won pushed the multiverse closer to collapse. His war against the heroes became the heart of the crisis, and for a moment, the Anti-Monitor seemed like the ultimate explanation behind why universes died. But DC never kept his mythology consistent. His origin changes from era to era. One version says he was born from antimatter, another turns him into the son of Perpetua. Later stories revise his purpose, his motives, and even his connection to creation. His relationship to the Monitor also shifts, sometimes opposite, sometimes subordinate, sometimes something else entirely. Each reboot rewrites his identity, leaving readers with a villain whose history resets every time DC reshapes its multiverse. Thanks for watching the video. Comment down below your favorite part, and press the subscribe button and bell icon for regular updates.